from the Raw Film Festival. We had a lot of fun, met some really interesting people, and got some great interviews for our Freak of the Week. And in fact, we have a celebrity Freak of the Week, none other than Sergei Boutenko, whose DVD, which was just released, which we watched at the film festival, won an award. I think it was Funniest Award, and it was a really good movie. Here's the DVD. You can get it at rawfamily.com. Curdy,
What?
did you watch Sergei's movie? What was your favorite part?
Him eating Puka holding a banana, then him eating that was fun. That was funny.
It's called a freak. They're doing it night and day. Allow us, we'll show you the way. Aw, freak out. Freak, say she. Freak out.
Here at the Raw Film Festival with Sergei Boutenko. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being the Freak of the Week.
It's my pleasure.
Let me ask you something. When did you realize you were a freak? When was the first moment that you said, man, maybe I'm different here?
Probably around when I was 9 years old.
9 years old?
Yeah, because, and how I realized that was some kids at school said, Sergei, you're a freak. So that was my realization.
And you say, wow. So how did that change you? Did you feel like you had to get out of that mode somehow? Did you feel like panic?
Yeah, I definitely felt like I needed to get out of that mold of being a freak, and spent the better part of the next, I don't know how many years trying to get through it. And then slowly though, when I was trying to get away from the title of raw foodist or freak or whatever, I realized that I just had to embrace it. And now, being 22, being older, people embrace differences, and it's great. So I'm really happy that.
And now you're part of a movement that a lot of people are older, and what you would consider, or we would consider, respected people coming, you asking for advice.
Yeah.
And now you're not the freak, but almost the guru in a lot of ways for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What can you tell the younger people who are starting to feel that kind of they want to be different, and maybe so you have the benefit of your parents. What if they don't have that? What can you say to them?
I would say that it's very difficult in the beginning, and there's just no way around that. But you know what? Life is difficult, and if you can get through it, I promise you that one day it'll shift, and then people will just start embracing you. Because ultimately, I think up until college age, we all try and be the same, and then once you get to college, that doesn't work anymore. People grow up, they realize, hey, I like the differences, and it gets a whole lot easier.
That's awesome. So, what kind of did you have some transition problems? Did you have any issues? I mean, you started really early.
Yeah.
How do you help? What do you say to people who are having difficulties transitioning?
I think that if you're having difficulties transitioning, the best thing that you can do for yourself is not feel any guilt. If you're trying to stay 100% raw food and you slip up, if you feel guilty, that's a completely useless feeling. There's nothing good that comes from guilt. You just feel bad, and it makes you actually want to eat more cooked food. So what I would recommend is that if you ever slip up, pat yourself on the back, say you're doing great, it's okay, and then use that and say, hey, how can I learn from this? And then make it into a good thing instead of a bad thing.
That's awesome. Now, I seen your book. We've looked at it. What was that like, writing the book?
Writing the book was a challenge. I didn't know how much effort went into writing the book. I think I had to read it about 20 times in the editing processes. That's not even including the reading while I was writing. And we're actually in the process of writing another book right now, my sister and I.
Oh, really?
And, seeing how much work it is again.
Right.
But it's a good experience ultimately, because my one mouth, or my sister and my presence together can't affect as many people as we want to affect. And so writing a book or making a movie is a means of reaching more people.
Cool. Now tell us about the movie.
The movie is called Interview with Sergei Boutenko. At first glance, it's like, well, it's Sergei who made the movie, and it's about Sergei. That's kind of like tooting his own horn a little bit, isn't it? It's not at all. It's while I'm in the movie, I'm just kind of playing myself. It's not really about me. It's about how I started eating raw food, and it really helped me to get past the issues that I was battling with. And as Dr. Ann Wigmore says, health and being healthy is our birthright. And I think that it should be free. Everybody deserves to be healthy, and everybody deserves to know that you don't have to pay. So it's kind of what the movie is about. Oh, and also not being too serious, because that's also important.
That's awesome. So how do you feel like your role in the universe is turning into? You've got some books, you've got movies. Where do you see yourself going?
Wow. I think that the type of person that I am, I don't tend to look too far into the future, because I'm pretty spontaneous and don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone in a year.
That's awesome.
However, I know that raw food will always be part of my life, whether I choose to pursue the teaching aspect of it or not. Lately, I've been interested in communication and just kind of what works and what doesn't, because while only a select few of us are eating raw food, every single person on this globe communicates, and some people do it better than others, and I think that that's also a key element in having a happy life.
Why do you think so many people are not doing what is so obviously the healthiest way to live? What do you think is where do you think the blocks are coming from?
Well, I think a lot of people just aren't curious to learn more, and I also think that the definition of what is right is very vague, because a lot of people, I mean, it's really hard to live life thinking that you're not doing right? So something as simple as going to war, you could never go to war if you thought that you were doing something wrong. That's why they think that they're doing right, and it's easy. So I think just the term what is doing right is different from person to person. I just know that for me, raw food works because I'm not contributing to the cruelty of animals. I'm, in a sense, recycling when I don't buy food that's in packages, and then every waste product goes directly back into the ground. For me, that feels right, and I'm not interested at all to tell people you have to do this or everybody should do what I do. I think that I'm doing what I feel works for me, and if you like it, if you get inspired by what I do, I fully encourage you to try it.
Well, I can honestly say I was inspired. Your mom's book was the first raw book I've ever read. I read it cover to cover. So you're definitely an inspiration. Your whole family, and I thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much as well.
Good luck in whatever you're trying to do, and in getting that communication voice out there, because the more people doing that in their own special way, the more people that are going to get hit the way they need to be hit. So fantastic, man. Best of luck with the film.
Thank you.
Awesome.